What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy GD Fitz here. BSN presents Tell the Truth Sports Talk. I'm gonna be intrigued with this episode tonight because this is something that me and my guy Mike Dub has been talking about for a while. We're trying to get BSN youth off the ground, and the way we can do this is by speaking to the guys that are involved with the youth in Baltimore City. So I'm gonna go start off with two guys that are pretty heavy in my involvement in Baltimore City basketball because they have both coached my daughter at a high level, be it either in AAU or in high school, respectfully. So I'm going to look over now to my man, Coach Dunn, as well as my man, Coach Tariq Brown. We're going to go over there. How y'all doing today?
We're doing fine, man. Thank you for having us. I'm Coach Tariq Brown, new varsity boys coach at Rosedale Christian Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Dunn at Forest Park. Coach multiple sports, also athletic director.
Then I got to go over here to my man. This guy's been getting on my nerves the last couple of years with these preview shows, but I love him. My man, Mr. Principal, Sam Buck. What's going on, Sam?
What's up, man? So this Sam Buckley, so principal by day, and the evening, I run Sam Buck Maryland PrepHoops. So I'm doing all the previews right now. Just put out the 1A region preview for girls basketball. I'll have the other regions out by the end of the weekend, actually. So it's gonna be a good season.
I definitely think it's gonna be good, and I'm not gonna leave out my brother, my man, BSN. What's good, Mike Dub? What's good with you,
What's happening, man? I'm just blessed to be around all this right that's going on. We about to make some things happen, and it starts with these gentlemen here.
Mm-hmm.
So, BSN, follow through with y'all. We're gonna make some things happen. We got a lot of things in the works, and we need guys like y'all, to help us out and get this stuff in the movement. There's a movement right now that we on, it starts in the studio, works its way out to the schools and gets on the courts, and we need guys like y'all to get us where we need to be.
So first things first, I'm gonna put it out there because we like to smoke and mirrors early, and we really want to see the opinions of all of you guys. What are your thoughts on basketball in the Baltimore area right now? I'm gonna go start off with you, Coach.
I think it's very, very, it's like a question mark, honestly, because the parity isn't quite there on the girl side. I can see that. Boy side is pretty, it's pretty equal, but I don't think the parity is there. It's top heavy with like maybe three teams in the city and about two in the county, I'll say. Really one. Really no competition. I'm very determined to that. So I think it needs to be more parity in the city. I don't think it's going to be that way until, I ain't going to say until if they went back to zone schools. I think that's the only way it'd be parity. Once they start a school choice and people can, decide whatever school they want to go to, then as a parent of a female, of course you want to send your child to the best opportunity available. So it's pretty top heavy with like three schools, public schools. Private is always has the advantage because they don't have the same restrictions that public schools have. So that's just my opinion as far as on the girls' side.
Go ahead with the coach.
I think in terms of Baltimore basketball, being somebody that was born and bred in Baltimore basketball, I think we need to get back to the development aspect of basketball because I've seen too many kids in high school that don't know how to play basketball. So we got to get back to showing kids the right way to play the game. And that's why we got a lot of kids that are going to these colleges and everything that they got to transfer down because they can't play. And college is about playing with other good players. They don't learn that early and everything. If you're young, oh, shorty, you the man. Go, get yours. Instead of learning how to play. So we got to get back to the basics and fundamentals of learning how to play basketball, then develop basketball IQ.
Okay. Sam, your thoughts as a advisor and as well as a person that's media involved with it.
So I think, to be honest with you, I know Dunn has said, we had talked about maybe three tough teams in the city, man. But, I actually like I think this, especially this particular year, last year was a little top heavy. I think it was like Howard and Poly the whole year, 1 and 2 the whole year as far as public schools. But it's like this year, I mean, I think it's wide open. I think, Western Poly and Forest Park, I mean, they the top 3. But I think City got a good squad this year. And in the county, I mean, I think the county is loaded this year, man. You got Newtown, Pikesville, Delaney, Hereford. So I mean, the county has some good squads this year, man. So, and then for me, like I like to cover the whole state. So Montgomery County has some really good teams out there. I love Seneca Valley. Anne Arundel County got Glen Burnie. So I would say on the girls' side, it's about 15 to 20 strong teams, and they all play as a team. Like there's no real dominant players out there. Like I don't feel like this year, but there's a lot of senior heavy led teams this year.
Right. So I'm gonna ask this question because I'm gonna start it with you real quick, Mike. I want to ask you this question as a fan that goes to a lot of the boys' games. What do you see private versus public? What basketball do you enjoy the most? That's the first question. And the second question, do you think it's because of the restrictions that are presented to Baltimore City basketball? And matter of fact, I'm going to take it back from Baltimore City. I'm going to say from public school setting compared to that of the private school setting.
Well, I'm a big fan of high school basketball. As Coach said not too long ago, born and bred in the city. So I know how important city sports are. You know what I'm saying? So on both ends, boys and girls, that's important. You know what I'm saying? But seeing, I don't want to say this word, but seeing kids run to the private schools because they don't want to hold their own in the city side, I don't like that part. I don't like that part, but I understand why it's happening. From my days in high school, my years in high school, we believe in building our program where we was at. No running. I mean, the guys that played at the Catholic schools and the private schools, they was there. We was where we was at. You know what I'm saying? Most of the guys, in my days growing up, most of the guys left the private schools to come back on the city side play because when you got three good teams on the private side, but got 12 good teams in the city, that's where the competition at. I don't like kids running from competition. That's why I don't like. I'm going to go get on this team that's already loaded, and play a loaded team, knocking off everybody that has 2-3 decent players. I don't like that part. I still love the sport, I love the game. And it's one thing on my mind with, our coaches been here, coming up in my era, the training part. How can you play against a cone? And then go on the court and expect a person to be a cone? I don't like that. I'm from the era when you finish practicing, you go straight to the court and play against people. So you can work your craft. Your craft shouldn't, the training thing is excellent. I understand it, I get it. But today's kid would rather play against a cone than go outside and play against somebody. On all factors.
Right.
That part bothers me. I would like to see more coaches. Look, I don't want you to get hurt because that's everybody's meal tickets their sport now. I don't want to see you get hurt, but playing against others on your level, under your level, or over your level makes you become a better player. I just want more coaches to, the training is well, but playing basketball makes your game. You know what I'm saying? I don't need 13 people on a team doing every move the same. 13 people on all teams doing the move the same. Now, I'm not saying if you're 6'7", you shouldn't be able to cross over and pull up. Not saying that. But if you're 6'7", the only thing you should be doing, especially in our city, dumping in, throwing in. You can work on that because on the next level, you know what you're going to do on the next level. But you should be.
I'm going to go over here to Coach Brown. I want you to get your point real quick and just move the mic over a little bit so that way you can get a little
really
bit.
agree about the training aspect because I know as a coach, a lot of parents ask me, can you train my kid? And I tell them all the time, I can't train your kid, but I can teach them how to be effective in a basketball game.
Right.
Like all the cones and like dribbling 3 basketballs and 4 wide. You play with 1. Like when I play, I can do any dribble move in the world. But I never practiced with 4 basketballs, 5 basketballs, and I never worked on moves. I think if you can handle the ball, all you need is an in and out and a crossover with both hands. And you can do anything else that the game dictates. But you can see kids, like Mike was saying, you can see kids just thinking about the move on the court. I'm going to come down. When I get to this spot, I'm supposed to spin. No matter if somebody's there or not, but it comes from playing with the cones. So I definitely agree that we need to play more basketball. That sometimes just open the gym, let them go in there and hoop and figure it out for themselves. Because that's what we did when we were growing up. We had to go out there. We was in the park. We played against the team. Everybody big as Coach Dunn, and everybody on my team, my side, we got to figure out, we going to foul them dudes every time they get a layup. We ain't giving them no easy bucket, and we can push them out, try to make them shoot jumpers. But you had to figure it out. So now, that's what's taken away, thinking on the court, and also, like Mike said, competing. I'd rather go to a loaded team, sit on the bench, and say, yeah, we winning, and going to try to beat them. I don't like that either.
Right.
I like playing. I like competition.
You want to play, and that's what we all want to see. Coach, I want to get your response on this as well. If you want to move the mic over, you can get a little bit better sound on that.
A lot of parents are scared to let their kids hoop because that requires you going outside. I know where I'm at. Outside ain't safe.
Right.
So if you can't go outside, you can't hoop. And it takes a special individual that love basketball to want to go outside and hoop. And not play video games or be on their phone. You have about 1 or 2 on your team that are hoopers, gym rats, that you don't have to tell them to put shots up. We got 2 gyms at Forest Park, outdoor court. We got courts inside the pool. Like, we got rims everywhere. So if I gotta tell you to get some shots up, that means you don't love basketball. So if you want to get better, it ain't about cones. It ain't about any of that. It's about what you really want to do. If you got parents or other people pushing their dreams and ambitions on you, then you really can't be successful in any sport or anything you do in life if you don't want it for yourself. So these kids is different. They like it. They don't really love it. Like, you can tell a kid that love it. Like Lil Mama, for instance. She used to wait outside of Forest Park this summer to see if she can get inside and put shots up. I'm like, why are you here? Ain't none of the girls from my team here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you can tell, and that's why she is who she is. Once in a generational type of talent that really wants it, got that dog in them. It ain't too many dogs no more.
Right.
There's a few, that won't run to teams that will try to establish their own thing, but it ain't just players, it's coaches as well. A lot of coaches run type of teams and situations. They don't stick to their situation when they don't have the talent. They don't stay there and try to develop. So you can't just blame the kids either. So it's a trickle down effect.
Go ahead, Buck.
Yeah. So definitely agree with the one point. I think this generation is definitely different. A lot of times the parents trying to live vicariously through the kids, but the kid has to have the heart and want to play, And I think it's just, the level of toughness. This is a generation where a lot of the kids, they want instant gratification. So it's like they're not used to putting in the hard work, right? And even like the style of basketball, you look at it, now that social media is out there and TV, like they want to go on it. Like Steph Curry just revolutionized basketball. Whereas though you see all these kids, you watch a game, everybody want to jack up threes. But that's why me personally, I like the girls' game because like I see the fundamentals and I see like the post players and things like that. And then a lot of the top teams, they win games because they're driving to the basket and they're out rebounding the other teams. You know what I mean? So I think the landscape, I can only speak for girls basketball right now. I like where it's going. I think that the other aspect of it is the mental toughness of the game. I think that a lot of times, when sometimes like when I'm watching a game, it's like when the momentum is shifting, it's like how is your team really going to react to that pressure, man? So the mental toughness definitely has to be there, and kids really just have to play. I think a lot of times like doing 5-on-5 scrimmage, doing practice, like they just got to get in there and get into it, man. And that's the difference that I really see right now. You got some teams that's not as talented, but they play hard. And the thing is, like, they outboard the team. Like, they putting pressure on the ball. So, like, when I look at teams like Forest Park and Lock Raven and Poly, I mean, like, they putting pressure on the ball the whole 32 minutes. You know what I mean? And it just, sometimes it makes for an ugly game. But, you know what I'm saying, that's just, you know, they're winnable like that.
Styles make fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I look at the way that on the girls' side of basketball, and I think a lot of us that are involved with girls can attest, you have about 3 or 4 girls that can play out of the 10 that you have in the building.
Yeah.
And in some school settings, you might have 7. And I gotta give coaches credit. When you see Little Mama and Gabby, those 2 girls carried 7 girls to a state championship. That is impressive. So in the girls' side of it, you might only have 2 or 3 on a team that can go.
Right.
So when you get that diamond and say, I got 5 or 6 hoopers that can actually hoop, that's a blessing. I know looking at it and you say, man, I can't even get a 5-on-5 scrimmage because I only have 6 basketball players. Everybody else is just a body. So you can't really develop it and see it. But it's like you just said, do the girls love it? And then on the boys' side, from what I've been seeing lately, it has been top heavy. It's always going to be top heavy. But when I'm looking at boys and I see 15 on this squad, if they buy into what the coach is saying, you can compete. Because you might not be the biggest, you might not be the strongest, but if you compete, you can will yourself to some victories and some wins. And I see that a lot in the city. Now, the next question I'm about to pose to all you guys, if y'all don't want to take a break, we can go right through or we can take a break. But I know the question that I have for you guys is private school with their lower amount of restrictions discrediting what's going on in the public schools? Because I look at, and the reason why I say that is because I look at what happened at City with the boys' side the last 2 years. A lot of those guys that were there were transfers from St. Francis. They came back from the private to the public. They had 1 loss in the last 2 years. And that changes, in my opinion, can change if the city, which is the public school setup, allows more changes. You get what I'm saying? And I see you itching where I'm about to go at. Because to watch the kids leave from private schools because they can get the top 20 kids, right? But if you have that grit and that core group that say, I want to come to the public school and dominate over here because it can create better basketball. Go ahead, Buckley. You shake your head. What you think? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, though, man. Like, when you gotta look at it, though. It's City, right? It's City College, the history of City College, and then, you know, a lot of times, a lot of these players go out to the private schools because the coaches, like, they can sell the parents on the education at a private school. I mean, they could just sell them on that, right? And then all the resources and things that they have. So a team like City College on the boys' side, you can sell a parent on the education there, right? It's just different. Like I would send my child to City College because I know, yeah, he can hoop, but he also gonna get a world-class education. He's gonna be exposed to AP classes and the rigging and things like that. So I think that makes a significant difference, though.
Coach Dunn, what's your point? What's your thoughts?
I honestly feel as though you can get an education no matter where you go. It starts at home. Education always starts at home. And I think the city gets a bad rap for that, and private schools get too much credit for having better educational systems. When you send your child to a private school, 9 times out of 10 the parents are educated already. You know, so the child is already basically on point. You don't have to tell them to do their homework. They have good study habits, so they're already a student. So I think they give private schools too much credit for having a better educational system. Now, better structure probably, better behavior management probably, because like I said, it starts at home, so the kids are more well-mannered. And if you have to pay for a situation, then you're not going to get in trouble and do certain things they didn't do in private school. So I know we have world-class teachers at our school. They graduated from Harvard, Duke, Yale, you know, so we have AP classes as well. My girl basketball player is going to be cum laude. She has like a 4.8. So, and all my ball players go to college. So I don't really think it matters where you're at. I think education starts at home. But as far as the restrictions are concerned, it's going to be that way because if you think about it in certain counties, the girls that win aren't really basketball players. They play multiple sports. So they want to give, it would give the inner city more of a competitive edge if they had the same rules as private schools, because the majority of them are basketball players. So you might have girls in Howard County that play soccer or field hockey or another sport like that, and it would be unfair if the other schools are practicing basketball all year round, because come basketball season, they're just going to be ready. Where the other ones ain't going to be ready because they've been playing soccer for the last 4 months. So I think that's just my opinion why they never do it that way.
Okay.
To me, I think, personally, I just think it's, to me, the restrictions don't help the kids in the public school. Because I've been on both sides. I've coached public school, I coached private school, I went to public school up until high school, then I went to Calvin Hall, excuse me, yelling at kids all day teaching. So I see it from both aspects, and I also currently teach at inner city school. So I think the restrictions hinder the kids, because why do you start basketball practice November 15th and you gotta play a game December, as opposed to, why not just say, coaches, you can have in the gym November 1st? And I understand, like Coach Dunn was saying, some kids play other sports and all of that, that's fine, but what about your kids that don't? You still need something for them to do that time, and that's keeping more kids off the street and stuff like that, because it's less idle time. But I think if they go to look at what's best for the kids as a whole, and I think that's what's lost in a lot in sports with the restrictions and everything, is that kids aren't put first.
Right. I agree with what everybody said. You know what I'm saying? The city aspect of education definitely takes a shortcoming, because it's just, they're saying it's the city. And they're saying it's Baltimore City at that too. So, you know, but all my time in city school, it's who want to learn and how you want to learn, first and foremost. And there was a bunch of smart people in high school that was just on the same level as anybody that was getting private teaching from schools. So it's what you want, what you learn at home, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the restrictions on sports is just, it's not fair. I'm gonna say it. I don't know if the coaches can say it. It's not fair. I'm not a coach. I'm not coaching nobody. I'm not coaching nobody. I go in the gyms and I help people who need help. I can say what I want to say. It's a tragedy how they treat the city. And it can make a kid run, because a kid may want to play against a certain school and can't. I seen him all summer long, and I know he coming to my town, and I can't play against him, but I got to watch him play. So I can understand why a kid can be like, because he looking at, that's my opponent.
That's your
right there.
competition.
That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the way he getting, you know. But, you know, I mean, that's bigger than a lot of our pay grades around here, you know what I'm saying? But somebody who gonna come from under the rankings where we at, gonna speak on that, fix that. That's what I think it fixed.
So,
that part.
so I agree with that 100%, because I think, looking at this from a couple of years ago, I watched how Keith Booth, and I can speak on this because nobody don't really care what I'm talking about, because I'm a JV coach. They don't look at it on that. But when I look at it and I see when Keith Booth was at Dunbar, and he was talking about this same exact situation, about why the public school has to have so many restrictions compared to that of the private school. And then you wonder why our kids are leaving. Prime example, nobody could stop the pandemic. The pandemic was the pandemic. But I watched how Poly had a run of championships. They won 3, they were getting ready to win 4. And a top 10 player in public school had to leave because the public school said, we're not going to play for a whole season. I watched also in the private school, which is more common based, I watched the top 10 talent leave from St. Francis because they can't play the games that they want to play, like you just said, Mike Doug. So it's a hindrance, a major hindrance, not only on public school itself, but I'm looking at the city, because remember, this is BSN. We're talking about Baltimore Sports Nation. We want to see how we can build it back up. I remember when I was in high school, we had Dunbar was going on a national schedule. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that now because you can only get, what, 25 games?
22.
22 games. I'm a Poly alumni. I remember when Sam was emailing and texting everybody saying, we want to try to become independent because we want to play or we're going to lose these kids. Look at what just happened. You just lost your number one recruited player that you were able to bring into the building. That whole squad is D1. And we have nothing to show but the 3 banners, and it's like, all right, cool, y'all got your banners. On to the next one. And I'm going to keep it on the girls' side real quick. I'm loving the fact, and shout out to them tomorrow, Sacred Heart versus Morgan, at Morgan tomorrow at 2 p.m. That's going to be the centerpiece game that I want to see, because I want to see Showtime versus Little Mama, because we never got a chance to actually see it because they played together. But you're getting ready to see that game tomorrow. But imagine if them girls were able to play one more year. And when I'm talking about the pandemic, because they shut it all down. So they didn't get a chance to really put their real mark on it. They got 1. They should have had 3. You get what I'm saying? So to see that happen and not be able to grow it and continue to grow it, the girls' game is evolving. We can't get it unless we actually promote it, push it out there, and show it. On the boys' side, I think the boys' side is there, but it's all going to focus on the private school. Because they want St. Francis to grow. They want Calvert Hall to grow. They want those schools to boom, and they really don't want to showcase the public schools. I just watched again. Newtown won a championship. Parkville won a championship, and they should have went back-to-back. City won a championship. They should have went back-to-back. It's there. Emerson finally broke through over Lake, so that's 5 right there on the boys' side alone. And I ain't talking about the competition at Forest Park on the boys' side. The competition that's over at Overly that did really well. Carver's basketball team that did really well on the boys' side. Then let's look on the girls' side. Pikesville has won 3 straight state championships. Forest Park has been in the mix the whole time. Weston's just coming off of a state title. Poly been to 2 straight state finals. It's there, but we have to show it, showcase it, and then open up the door to allow them to continue to play here, or we're gonna lose it. I'm gonna take a quick break. When I come back, we are gonna get into the predictions. The part of the show that's gonna make people start questioning why you were sitting across me talking that mess real quick. I'm gonna get right back with y'all in a minute. Stay with it. Good.
All right, coaches, I just want to know, trials coming out and stuff like that. How do y'all evolve talent? Like, you already have your players that's coming back. I was in a situation when I seen players that's already on the team playing with players that's not on the team. How can you see the difference from a talented player and a player that's out there playing?
I think for me, from my lens, is being a point guard my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I just see the game a little bit different. And I'm, like I said before, I'm looking for people that can play basketball. It's not about somebody trying to jack up 50 shots, showing me what you can do. I'm looking for people that know their strengths and weaknesses. And I tell kids all the time, show me what you're good at instead of what you think I should know. So I'm looking for kids that can play in a team concept for one. Kids that want to compete, because I think that's something that's lost in this era, competing. And kids that are coachable, because my staff, I got some good trainers, even though, like I said, I'm not really a trainer. I'm more of an X&O guy, but I got a good trainer that's trained pros and everything on my staff. So I know my staff can get you right. So if you got the intangibles that you want to work hard and you're coachable, we can get you right.
Coach Dunn?
Well, I'm in the building. My man Tariq, he a teacher as well, so I see them all year. So I see the growth right before my eyes. I need well-rounded individuals. Like, most of them play multiple sports. So, other sports can help you with other sports.
Right.
I'm a firm believer. Like, today I was at state championship for cross country. So I have a basketball team run.
Right.
And I tell them all the time, conditioning is very important. That's that college shit, excuse my language, but strength and conditioning, it gets you to the next level.
Yeah, you good on BSN. But we want to make sure he don't get in trouble with the school.
I tell them all the time, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the strength and conditioning, then you're not gonna go to the next level.
Right.
Some will adapt that philosophy and some won't, and then they'll see the difference. Like you were saying, practicing with a cone, that shit don't mean nothing. If somebody put that on you, you can't go nowhere. So come third quarter, you win it. So yeah, I see them all year, and I hope that they develop the whole year. with other sports, and just be well rounded. And you know, like one person is getting better because of the IQ.
Mm-hmm.
When they start playing chess and not checkers. Checkers is so basic.
Right.
They can start thinking 2 moves ahead, and then I ask them to explain why you did it. Once they can start explaining stuff, then you know they got it.
Right.
And that's why I'm a fan of Pikesville, because they play chess with a lot of checker players, and you can tell like it makes it look easy what they're doing right now.
Mhm.
They remind me like the Spurs. So,
Oh yeah.
but the Spurs got beat by the Pistons that year. So,
But no, it does remind you of the Spurs. Like I know I'm gonna take this one real quick because we just had this conversation off camera.
We did.
I'm watching how their best player, I ain't gonna call out who it is, but their best player, her emotion never changes. She's always even killed. Up 50, down 50. She the same. And that's the mental toughness.
G's.
That's
Those the guys that, like, when I was coming up, Kevin and Mike Dukes, Kevin Speaks and Mike Dukes, they were the OGs to us coming up. So you learned basketball while you were playing against them and everything. You can see that they have that tutelage from some OGs and everything, that you can be even killed. You're not too high, not too low. You're going to keep grinding and chipping away at it.
And I give out the flowers to all of them because I've watched who they've been around too as well with their AAU sets and all of that. It's like they've been around some guys. They've been around some guys that are high IQ players. So because you've been around high IQ players, it's going to show in your game. And that's why they've won 3 straight state
They
championships.
got Jesus on their side. They got a bishop on the side.
Yes, they do.
That never hurts. Hey, never hurts. Take any advantage you can take.
So, but I'm gonna ask you this question as an evaluator of a lot of different talent. Hey, look, that's a good point, though. That is a good point. You gotta have them on your side. So,
regular one in the Bible, special one.
So I'm gonna ask Buck this question, right? Because as an evaluator of talent, especially for the PrepHoops,
Right.
when you evaluate talent, what is the number one thing that you're looking for when you're evaluating talent?
So, player IQ, and then it is the little things. So I think like somebody hit on earlier, like Pikesville, like they won 3 state championships. Like even Howard, you look at the Howard team from last year, they had 3 stars, right? But they do the little things well. They box out really well. They hit free throws in late game situations really well. When they have the ball, like when they're possessing the ball, like they don't turn the ball over a lot, and then they always get a good quality shot. So they always drive into the hole. So by the 4th quarter, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't hit about 20, 25 free throws, you know what I mean? So they make the game look easy, but it takes the players really mimic the coach, right? So if you look at like a Mike Dukes or, the coach at Howard or, like Kendall Peace at Poly, like the one thing about it is they play hard. They're always known for defense. The defense always going to keep them in the game. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to, like you rarely see those type teams get blown out, right? But they do the little things really well and they keep their composure. So like that's the one thing I think with championship teams, like, they got that championship pedigree, whereas though they play sound defense, they box out, they do all the little things well. They might not have the best talent, but the thing is, those little things gonna keep them in the game. So for me, when I look at it, I look at the basketball IQ, I look at, whether the top players, like, are they helping out the other players that are coming up, teaching them how to play the game the correct way. Like, yo, you ain't gonna keep doing 6 Euro steps and traveling, you know what I'm saying? You costing us turnovers, you know what I mean? You gonna make a solid pass, you gonna cut to the basket and get the easy layup. Like, we ain't trying to do Euro steps and you going under the basket this way. Like, you ain't jacking up 15, 23s a game. So I think that's what I'd be looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna switch gears. Tariq, I know this is your first year at Rosedale Baptist. Well, it's no longer called Rosedale Baptist. It's Rosedale Christian Academy now. RCA. What's your expectations going into this season?
Well, really, don't really have any expectations like that because I believe in building it the right way. So I'm looking for players that's going to fit the culture and stuff that we're trying to build. which my mantra is play hard, play smart, and play together. So we're looking to bring in those type of players. And also got the job kind of late this year, so it's kind of hard to bring in players and everything. But my expectations is just to take what we have right now and to get better each and every single day. And that's about goals, and just to build a national level program, which I know we can do and everything. It's just gonna take time. But like Sam said earlier, everybody wants instant gratification, but it don't work that way. The house can fall down if you don't build that foundation. So that's what we're doing this year. We're building our culture, building the foundation, so we can take giant steps and leaps in the following years to come.
All right, Coach, real quick question. Now, we all see our players, and this is a question I always want to ask coaches. Talent over fundamentals, right? You see a player that may not be as talented as a talented player, but he has all the fundamentals. He sets the pick the right way. He passes the ball the right way. He makes the right cut. How do you put that into the talented player to do what the side player is doing, and vice versa? How do you turn?
Coach Dunn on that one first.
You gotta have plays for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of times, you know, teams do ISO.
Mm-hmm.
You know, based on the talent, because a lot of times in my situation, I have more dogs than fundamental players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna be honest.
No.
I grew up from Park Heights in that area, like
Yeah.
So
One way.
teaching the fundamentals is very difficult because it's something that you can't just teach once you get on the varsity level.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to like go over what they already know. So start from square one, like he was saying like earlier. You know, grassroots, and we got kids starting 4th, 5th grade basketball. They learning the fundamentals there.
Right.
But once you get those 2 or 3 kids that have the fundamentals, you know, it's easier to incorporate them into the flow.
Right.
But you gotta have buy-in from other people, you know, because everybody's not setting picks. It only takes one person to mess up a play.
Right.
You know, when you have those dogs or those talented players that aren't really fundamentally sound, like the Allen Iversons of the world,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have to also, you know, have special design plays for them as well.
Right.
Because the game is so fast now, and it ain't like before where you had post play and
Mm-hmm.
you can do different sets. Now it's more motion and threes and fast breaks because that's what they see on TV.
Right.
You know, and that's what they expect at the next level. You're a certain height, you gotta handle the ball now. We all want that big post, but the big post don't want to be a big post anymore.
Right. They want to go in the
Because
lane.
everybody's telling them, no, you need to do this, and you know, I'm not blaming AAU for it, you know, because people quick to blame stuff, you know. So as a coach, you have to, I'm going to say, gear it towards your program, not towards an individual. You know, because some people want you to gear towards their child, or a college coach might want you, well, no, they need to shoot threes to show that they can. Your focus should be on your team that year,
Mm-hmm.
not specifically for one person and developing their skills. So if you can get those fundamental players, then I mean, I think that's perfect. Teams like Pikesville and Coach Deuce, they do a great job at doing that. You know, getting those certain kind of kids, because those kids aren't
That would make me go
everywhere.
check out Pikesville game and shit.
It's hard to get those kids though, you know.
Yeah.
Because usually the ones that's fundamentally got the good grades, the great attitudes as
Right.
well. You know, that's like a perfect student athlete, and they only go to certain kind of schools.
Right.
So if you can get them at a Forest Park, or you know, those traditionally schools that people in the 6th grade don't say, I'm going to Forest Park. You know,
Right.
I have to be that person that sells my program still to this day, no matter how many games we win.
You still got to
I still have to sell my program because
sell your
of,
brand, but you're
Yeah.
selling it right now. We see it right now on your chest.
I'm just coming from
So I would go here. I'm gonna ask this question. I know.
I was gonna wear some BSN stuff in here, but I said, nah, this about the coaching day, but we gonna sell brand. We might as well sell brand right there.
So I will go back to the same question I just finished asking Coach Brown. I'm gonna ask the same thing to you, Coach Dunn. What are your expectations going into this season with your team?
I used to have expectations, but now it's what everybody expects of us. And it's to the point where I never thought I'd see the day that if Forest Park don't win states, it was considered a failure. So that's how far we've come. You know, when I got to Forest Park, they were 0-20. And we just kept building and building and building. So you know, I never thought the days where if you don't win states, then your season was a failure. Like regional championship is not good, city championship, man, y'all supposed to like We supposed to. What do you mean by that? Like,
what kind of seeds you have?
right. So,
You had the watermelon seeds. What's the? I mean, whatever you planted. It's that high now. Like, you got old wood over there. Everybody expecting y'all to win.
He must have had the bishop on that side. Alumni, so it trickled down.
I expect them to play hard, to learn from each other and have fun. You know, that's the main thing. You know, I want them to have fun. People forget about that. It's a game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there's so much pressure on these kids to win and to get scholarships, and they lose sight of the whole fun thing. So I want them to have fun. They win games, great, you know, because we all coach to win. But
Right.
at the end of the day, winning states would be great. But you know, I want to have that moment that I think Sam was talking about with the Pikesville Forest Park in the final game. You know, because that whole staff is like my mentors. You know, so when they said, well, Rick Flair said to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said it the best.
I think that'd be must-see TV if that happens. So I expect to see Pikesville, to answer your question, for the state championship.
So-
That's my expectation.
So now, Buck itching over here. He's been itching.
No,
to
listen,
say something. Go ahead,
check this
go.
out. See Dunn over here being modest, you know what I'm saying, and I get it. And I told Dunn when he first came in here, and I think I told you, this is, in my opinion, Forest Park has probably one of the most talented teams in the state. Like, absolutely most talented, right? And I think this is the year, like, we've been begging, I mean, I know as a fan, I've been begging to see Forest Park Pikesville in the championship game at Xfinity Center. Like, this is going to be the year. Like, I think this is going to be the year. I think that,
I like it.
yeah, I think this is going to be the year. So I'm going to give you my predictions really quick. Just real quick. So, you know, in the MPSSA, they got like 4 regions, 1A up to 4A, depending on the enrollment of the school or whatever the case may be. So my prediction, I got Forest Park and Pikesville, that last game of the season at Xfinity. Look, I don't know who's going to win. I feel like they both have very talented teams, both very senior heavy. It's going to be a great game. So I'm going to leave that there. 2A, you know, like I said, I cover the whole state, man. I like Lackey, defending champions down in St. Charles. They real tough. But then the 2A, I like FSK is good, and I like Newtown. Newtown going to be tough. But like I said, they got to show and prove for
I don't
me.
know
man.
about FSK though.
Yeah, but FSK bumped up to the 2A from the 1A, and they gave Pikesville a run.
They got that shooter.
Yeah.
They got
So
Sam.
so that was good. And then the 3A, I like Poly, man. You know what I'm saying? I like Poly. That's probably one of the weakest regions this year. Is the 3A, and then the 4A, man. I like Western and Seneca Valley, man.
In the final.
Yeah, in the final. Seneca Valley out of Montgomery County. I like Western this year though, man. So I think it's gonna be a good season, man. It's gonna be a good season.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I know you're ready for it.
Yeah, but just remember what I told you, Forest Park, Pikesville. This Dunn year. Dunn sitting over there modest, man.
No pressure, though.
This is year, man.
I'm gonna say this because, and I have no bias, right? Everybody can be thinking, oh, I'm biased because my child is over there and we playing and everybody got the hype train. You gotta roll the ball out.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've told these kids all season, it's about mental toughness. The team that is mentally better will win. And that's on all levels. 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, private. The mentally tough team will win. That's what's going to happen. I don't care how good you are. The mentally tough team is going to win because I'm about to switch gears over here because we can ready to get out of here, but I'm about to switch gears. It's like in the NBA. Nope, Jokic is the best player in the game. He's not the fastest. He ain't going to highlight you with no dunks. He just going to do everything fundamental, like you was talking about, right?
Yeah,
I'm fundamentally skilled, and I'm going to kill you with that. That's what he did. I know Dunn over there looking at me like, yo, he top 15 in the league all the time.
You got my.
I mean, naturally, I'm gonna say the person that won the MVP number one. What's the use to being the MVP if you're not considered the best player in your league? So
Embiid number one, he over top of Jokic?
That award means you're number one.
Okay.
They just don't just hand it to anybody. Do they?
I don't know. I look at it, me and being a point guard, I look at your effect on winning. how much effect you have on your team winning. And I think the Joker has more effect on his team winning because he does pretty much everything.
He's a point guard.
Facilitates the offense and all of that kind of stuff. Not to take anything away from the MVP because he went to Kansas and everything. That's my college. But I still think Joker affects winning more, and he's more invested. I think he's more invested in winning because I think Embiid can be more dominant. That's my beef with him.
Right.
I think he can be more dominant, but I think he wouldn't do all the other stuff we was talking about. He wouldn't go shoot threes too much, all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
When you can go in that box and just get 40.
Easy.
Just go get it.
You know,
40 is 40.
Yeah.
No matter how you get it.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Because I can see it in his face. He over there looking like, y'all really going ahead with my man in Philly. I'm looking right at you. He's sitting there swallowing his tongue right now because he's ready to say something. I'm going to give it back to him, but I'm going to go to Buck first. I know you watch the NBA.
Yeah.
I know you watch the league. Who's better, Jokic or Embiid?
Look, man, I gotta go with Jokic though, man. I gotta go with Jokic because, like I said, man, I like the fundamentals, man. I mean, he passes the ball very well. Mm-hmm. He orchestrates the offense. He can shoot from deep, but he can go out in the post. He can give you a mid range. I mean, he can go out. He can go down the block. I like Jokic, man, and he ain't even athletic.
Right, Mike. Who better? Who better?
Out of them two?
Out of just them two. I ain't going to wrestling. Just out of them two.
Is one A
you really say
A1? What's the difference? 1A and A1? Is there a difference?
I mean, right now, right now it's a difference because one has a title and the other one doesn't.
But title, that's team stuff. Title, team stuff, and everything is
look. I know where you're going. But I'm gonna say this because I go through this debate all the time with my man about the talent levels, right?
Right.
Both the talent levels on Philly and Denver were pretty even last year. They were pretty even. They were even. Harden is a former MVP. And he was still productive.
And it looks good on paper, but as far as a team being put together, Denver has a better put together team that more people fit around their star players and more people fit around Philly star players.
This is why I actually give Embiid a little bit more credit. I do personally think Embiid is better than Jokic. That's just my opinion. But when I watched for 3 straight years with Philly, when they were the number 1 seed in the league, that team wasn't, in my opinion, that team talent-wise wasn't as good, but they were a better team, right? But Ben Simmons choked in the playoff. We can say that. When he didn't pass the ball, didn't dunk the ball when he passed it. Should have dunked it, right? Boom. The next year, after they make their moves and they had James Harden, that was a throw-in, just see what's going to happen, see if they can actually steal a championship. And they wasn't going to steal it that year. But last year, that team, with Maxey growing up in the second half of the season, I thought that team could have made some serious noise, and they choked. The 2 stars, Embiid and Harden, choked in Game 6 and Game 7 respectively against Boston.
They did.
Embiid was hurt.
That's an excuse because he shouldn't have played then.
You can't play.
If you're hurt, you can't play. He had a uniform on.
If you're on the court,
he had a uniform on.
Especially in the playoffs.
There you go. So he had 15 points in Game 7, but nobody will ever knock him for the 15 points that he had in Game 7 because of James Harden's off-the-court BS that he did before Game 7. So you have to look at all that. That's why Jokic is considered better in people's eyes because he ain't dealing with all that adversity. He trying to win.
So as a basketball player, defense don't count?
Defense does count. That's why I said I think Embiid's better.
Embiid is better.
Yes.
I think the only thing Joker does better is pass.
Okay.
They both can shoot. I think Embiid is a better post player.
Mm-hmm.
He's more dominant in the post. So the only thing Joker does is shoot better. Pass better.
And I think
he's not a better defender.
I think Joker affects winning more.
He's on a better team.
I don't think that.
Switch teams.
He and Philly would win because he would make more winning
You don't think
plays.
Denver still win?
I think they would be the same thing.
I don't think
the regular season is the regular season. I'm talking about the title, winning the championship.
I don't think they will win.
And Joker on Philly. Philly don't win no championship.
Philly would be a better team because I think Joker is able to make more people better.
You have to have shooters.
They have shooters.
Who?
They got Shake Middleton and
Shake Middleton.
Let me
Go ahead, Mike.
back in here.
Go ahead, Mike. I had the best I'm messing with you with that though. No, they got Kelly Oubre. They got
You think
Toby
Denver
Hines.
win Embiid?
Who?
Denver.
I don't.
I think Embiid would win if he went there,
Exactly.
but Jokic would win in Philly too.
No, not with that roster.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
With Tobias Harris.
I mean, at the end of the day, the best player in the league played for the Milwaukee Bucks. We just want to keep it a buck.
I won't disagree with that.
He the best player in the league.
He just get too many offensive fouls for me.
Listen, I think everybody, when you play at a certain level, you get used to what a person doing. To me, he's still the best. He's the best player in the league because he's still developing. He's still getting better every year. He's becoming a better shooter. He's doing everything. And this shit might be, and he won the thing. He got the MVPs to count for it. He got the
Defensive player of the
he got
year.
his ring to show for it now. And let's keep it 100 again. If he don't get hurt, they don't have a chance of beating him. In that first round last year. If he don't get hurt, they back playing Denver. Now, and I'm just being honest. They're playing Denver in the championship. Then we really found out who the best player was. Because at the end of the day, he was going to have to guard Greek. He going to have to guard Greek because that coach down there, he a smart coach. He just set his talent line up to be smart. So now you got to guard him. Now you can't sit. And I'm not taking nothing from what's his name? Jokic. I'm not taking nothing from him. But the last 2 teams he played, he had to guard nobody.
You right?
He played basketball at the free throw line like this. On defense, not even on offense, on defense like this. Even when the Lakers tried to counter him with we gonna have AD
At the 5.
help.
Yeah.
We had AD help and have what's the dude Hachimura guard him. You see how he still dissect him. So, but Hachimura couldn't guard him because he still was too big. Yeah, but
let me get this off because I agree with that. I agree 100% with that, but I think this is when the IQ from a Jokic standpoint is better than that of Embiid. If you get that matchup and let's say exact same matchup and you're going to have AD helping, guess what Embiid doing? I'm shooting from the elbow or I'm shooting the 3 instead of backing Rui Hachimura little ass down to get a bucket. Whereas Jokic's mindset is
the coach.
Say it again.
No.
The NBA's
I know, but I'm talking about the flow of the game. I'm going off the flow of the game because you saying scheme. I'm going off of actually looking at it as, yo, we got an IQ here. I'm the ball player. I don't care what coach saying. I'm going to beat this dude
NBA
up.
supposed to be a players league anyway. So
Right.
as a player, if I'm playing basketball, I got a mouse on me. I'm gonna walk up to the box.
The
I don't
whole
care what the
time.
play is or whatever.
every play.
Yeah.
Every play.
So-
Every play, right? Until they switch it, right?
Until they stop it.
Until they switch it.
Right. What do we call your move?
Huh?
Chicken wing,
Oh,
right?
chicken wing.
So now this is my brother.
You gonna
Hold
chicken
on.
wing until
This
they
my brother.
make you change it up, right?
We play all the time. Whenever I wind up matching up against him,
Big or little.
and then he sees me, he's gonna say, "Yo, come on, Greg. You know what's gonna happen. I gotta try to push him out. He going down the line."
That's how we learn how to play.
So now they
You
go.
use the mismatch until they switch it. If they don't want to switch it, guess what? You could get.
So
you
now
end up with 50
let's look at a lot of NBA basketball is always based off of pick and roll with a whole lot of action off of the ball. If you seen that happen with that Lakers game, and Roy Hachimura is stuck on an island with Jokic, he backed him down until he got a move and got him off his feet for a bucket or an assist because they came
over.
over.
Easy drop off.
With Embiid, and I'm not saying he does it all the time, but sometimes in critical moments, instead of him doing the same thing until they stop it, he gonna settle for a jump shot. And that is the new era of basketball that we're talking about. That's a problem.
But you know who not selling for the jump shot?
Greek.
There you go.
Because, but the only thing with him is, but the only thing with Greek is, this is the only thing with Greek about being a player's coach and not having a coach that's gonna push you to get better. With Budenholzer, he allowed him to do so much silly shit going up and down the court. He was picking up offensive fouls. You foul out with 6. He gets 3 offensive fouls a game going downhill. Sometimes you gotta use your IQ.
It's a different vibe this year.
Yeah,
He really got a point guard. Like, I watched the game the other night. I was like, yo, dang, was not shooting the ball.
But no, you gotta give Drew Holiday credit too, man.
Drew.
He underrated as I don't know what.
Drew's a dog.
He's a dog, man.
But Dame is Dame is going to finish the game.
But
Like
you
this
know,
year,
That's the
he
difference.
won't-
He's a
Yeah,
scorer.
he
Drew don't bring that superstar name with them, so they don't give him that same. Yeah, they don't give Drew that same leeway because he don't have that superstar pedigree behind him. But that's the
Drew
dude that's gonna win the game.
No.
Are you saying
No, Drew Holiday, his defense is impeccable, but at the same time, but here's the thing: at the same time, when the playoffs come, it becomes a half court game, and it's clutch time. You don't need Giannis to be on the free throw line no more. Like Dame is gonna have the ball in his hand. And he's either gonna facilitate or he's gonna be the scorer.
But they could have did the same thing with Drew. It was the coaching though. Like
No, but he don't. But what I'm saying, offensively though, Drew and Dame are totally different.
Middleton was
That's another thing too.
Yeah,
Middleton was hurt too.
but Middleton, he's not a
that's
closer.
He's a big piece.
Yeah,
That's a big
but
piece.
he's not a
He
closer.
was closer when he was healthy.
He was, but Dame one of the best closers in the league though, man.
On a bad
But we gonna see now. We gonna see now.
He one of the best.
It's easy to close on a bad team because there's no pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
We expected to lose,
Mhm.
so I can go out there and get mine. Now when you expected to win, that elbow get a little tight.
I'ma
That's
say
what
this.
we gonna see this year.
I'm gonna say this. I watched them have that close game that y'all talking about, and I know it's not the playoffs, but it's the flow of what's going on. Dame closed out a game this year when he had to get to 33 points and he had to put up 13 in the fourth quarter to win that game because he is a closer. He's gonna score. He's gonna shoot and get buckets. Whereas Drew is the natural dog point guard that everybody should want on their team because the defensive intensity that he presents and the fact that he is a natural born leader. I really know that Miami is probably rolling over in their grave that they didn't get Drew Holiday when they had the chance to get him. Because they had the chance to get him because of the leadership. And it's funny, we've been talking about this all week. Kyle Lowry and Drew Holiday, in my opinion, they are the same, just in different eras and times where they at right now. Because they're not going to go get 30 every night. They get you 15. They get you 6. They're going to get you a whole bunch of steals and do all the dirty work
But I'm
that
taking
a lot of
Drew
people don't
because
like.
he bigger. I take Drew in that matchup because he's
6'5".
bigger.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
can guard more
Definitely.
people, all that kind of stuff. You know, Kyle Lowry, you kind of stuck. You got guard ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew can guard
He can
1
guard
through 3
threes.
for real.
Yeah.
He can switch on pick and rolls, all that kind of
Yep.
stuff.
I think Kyle Lowry has a bigger shot than Drew Wade. That's the only part I think the difference. I think.
And it's
You think he hit
probably
it?
I
in the
just
prime.
think he wanted the biggest shot. It's just the championship run. He did some stuff. I'm like, man, I don't believe this guy doing this.
Because he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I'm messing with Ted's TV.
Well, he got a lot of that accolades that get you the Hall of Fame.
He
got
got
like top
a
10
chip, he got a championship, all
He
that
got a lot of
stuff.
accolades that get you there. You know what I'm saying? A nice number.
He got back to the finals.
Hey,
last
a
year.
good number
Yeah.
across the board, good
Yeah.
numbers. He put up big numbers in Toronto across the board and
Multiple
stuff.
times.
So look, fellas, this is what we're going to do, right? This was great. BSN presents Tell the Truth Sports Talk. I appreciate y'all guys coming out. We're going to close this one out. We can do this more often whenever you want because we got the access. BSN is here, baby. So shout out to my man Sam Buck doing his thing. Principal, editor. I like that. Mike Dub doing his thing as usual.
Man, you know, I come in here, man, I come watch y'all kids play all the time. I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm one of them guys. They be like, Mike, how you got in the game? I said, I know who know who. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely be saying it, you know, and I definitely will catch all y'all games. I'm gonna be a supporter, you know what I'm saying? And I come help. I didn't even work out with some of your girls already. You probably know, Coach. I didn't work with some of your girls already. So I done worked with some of your girls already. Give them little things that like you moving too fast on this one. Slow it up, do it like this. Coach, you holler at me.
We ain't got no cones in the
Huh? I don't need no
Ain't
cones.
got no cones, baby.
I don't need no cones.
Now, I don't believe in the
I
cones
don't need no
either.
cones.
The cones don't move.
I'm not that type of
Yeah,
guy.
we don't
I'm
do
on the
that.
floor. I'm on the floor. I'm stopping plays and I'm telling kids, no, not like that. Like this. Move like this, stuff like that. I don't want the coach job. I don't know want the coach job. I want the guy to be like, well, send him with that mic, let Mike work with that and just send him back on the floor. I'm that type of guy. I'm that type of guy. If y'all need me, only if y'all need me. You know, I can teach the chicken one. It works.
Yeah, it does work. It does work. Then
But
shout out to my
that's
man.
the thing these kids gotta realize self-work. Don't change
Yeah,
it.
don't
They
change it
won't
till they
go,
stop.
they won't go do another move.
Mhm.
Why?
That.
That move is effective. Be effective. That's what's lost in basketball. Do what you can do. Be effective. And that's
Spots. Kids don't believe in spots.
they don't.
The greatest players that play this game that we love at any girls, men, women,
Certain
and
spots.
Spots. It's even broadcasted that if you watch the Mellow telling, Mike said go get seven a quarter. And I got 7 a quarter from this spot right here. 7 here, 7 here. Now you got your 30. The spots are so important in basketball. Like, what's the most comfortable place you at when you walk on the court? That's where you should work from 90% of the time.
Did y'all see the thing Bernard King was talking about how he scored? Did y'all see that on YouTube?
I seen some of it.
He said he had spots. It was like 7 spots. He said, I got 7 spots, and I got 3 moves from each spot. And that's how he got all his points. And if you were an old guy like me, you saw Bernard King back in the day, he was a bucket.
Yeah.
Like, he was a...
He got 50 in back-to-back games?
50 back-to-back games with 2 broken fingers, all that. Like, he was a straight bucket. But it looked easy. But he broke it down, so if you get a chance, you should watch it. He was like, there were certain spots, man, it was like a trigonometry theory or something that he put together, man. But like you said, spots are important, and kids don't realize, like I know, in college, wasn't a natural shooter, nothing, I had to knock down 100 threes and all that kind of stuff. I was, penetrating everybody the ball. But I knew in college, that offense where I was going to get my shots from.
Right.
So those are the shots I practiced all the time. So when the game came, I remember our offense to this day, it was called continuity. I knew I was getting corner threes out of that.
Right.
So those are the shots I practiced the most.
So I had a young man that said, Coach, they said the mid-range game is gone. You don't supposed to shoot it no more. I said, all right. I said, them 3 games of Juan Dixon. I said, you got to be able to hit the 3. But this is what he lived off of. This elbow, that elbow, free throw line, 20 a night.
Shit, Rip Hamilton too.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever they telling you don't work, it works. They just telling you what they want you to do. If you can get 10 shots, make 8 of them under the 3-point line, you made your mark.
As opposed to shooting 2 for 13 from the 3.
There you go, Coach.
You got 6 points as opposed to 6-10.
There you go, Coach. Spots. Show them players. I think you look like this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there for everybody to give. Information.
Especially now.
Information is there for everybody to give. If you play like this person, I can show you this person. Just take a look at it. I understand that the Euros, where is that? The step back, 3 through, step back, 2 steps, shoot the 3. I understand all that. But guys lived off this.
For no reason.
Yes. I seen a kid Euro the other day on an open layup. I'm like, yo, did you just Euro? You was by yourself. Like, did you just Euro by yourself?
And then they gave you the
But
dumb
they don't
look.
understand. You should be Euro and somebody setting up for a charge or something like that. That's when you need a Euro.
Exactly.
Hey,
Like you said, you see it all the time for no reason.
you know why? You know why that happens though, right? The cones. So look, we gonna get out of here.
Combs don't move.
Combs don't move.
When you Euro,
Combs don't
it's a
move.
bucket.
It's a
It's
bucket
a
all
bucket, but the
day.
comb don't move.
So look, fellas, we could talk all night long. We could do this all the time. This is why we got BSN Presents. Coach Dunn, Coach Brown, I appreciate y'all for coming in the building. We gonna get up out of here. Mike Dub.
All right.
When we gonna come back, we gotta do the wrestling podcast too soon, man. We got a lot we gotta do, yo. We got a lot to do, man. Yeah.
Yo,
We gonna talk on this off camera. I'm about to get
yours,
off.
man.
See y'all later, man.
Late night on YouTube, man. The old